Okay, so I don't know where it cut off, but we'll just keep on going. Um, so yeah, so we already talked about the wonder of existence is felt deeply in the rustic university. And so they end up going up this hill, right? And then Ira says, she'll guess. And then no, Shantland says, well, perhaps you are right. Ira gets his stick and they start up the hill path. Shouldn't we let Miss Robbins know where we've gone? And Ira says, she'll guess. And he stops and looks off to the right. Um, Hello? Here come the walkers. Okay, so they use the term walkers. Again, that could be a surname or it can be, they talk about walkers in a sense. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't know exactly what we're talking about. Good, bad, foreign, sovereign, um, so-called alien or not, but again, it makes me think that something else is being said here. And Elijah Robbins III and Esther Shantland come from around the house. They stop below Ira and Shantland. Elijah says, hello, Dad. Glad to see you. He reaches up and shakes hands. Ira, how's Professor Robbins? No, Ira says, how's Professor Robbins? Elijah says, my father? Miss Shantland? Esther says, I am glad to meet you, Mr. Robbins. She is shy and not at ease all through the scene. So it says that Shantland says, has the walk tired you out, Esther? And Esther says, not at all. Shantland says, are you sure you feel all right? Esther says, perfectly. Shantland says, I'm going up the hill with Mr. Robbins. Now, this could be talking about a hill, but we might be talking about ascending to a certain level. Or him just asking, are you okay, before I leave this realm? I just feel like it's something a lot deeper going on here. So, yeah. So he's going up the hill. Even when we're talking about peaks and hills and mountaintops in the biblical text, Enoch, all these other books, they also represent ascending to me. You know, and some people get there quick and some people take a lot longer, and it just feels like we're talking about ascension. So Ira says, won't you come with us? Elijah says, crossing to the spring, I think we've had about enough walk for a while. To Shantland, when my father gets through with you, you'll be so full of Indian history that you'll come down whooping. And then Miss Robbins comes from the house. Miss Robbins says, how do you do, Esther? And Esther says, very, very, okay. And Esther says, very well, thank you. Miss Robbins goes to Elijah. Miss Robbins says, well, Elijah. And Elijah says, howdy, Mom. And she kisses him. Miss Robbins says, your room is ready, Professor. Do you want to postpone seeing it? Shantland, coming back from the hill path, says, no, I'd like to get it located. Miss Robbins says, going to the door, if Esther will come too, we will get that all out of the way at once. Shantland says, be with you in a few minutes, Mr. Robbins. He takes his handbag and he goes in, and followed by Esther and Miss Robbins. And what else? Now, even this is reminding me of something that just happened actually now. I'm not at home right now. I'm staying somewhere for the weekend just to unwind and then to just kind of go somewhere within. And so I had my daughter here, which is my little daughter, that actually reminds me of my mama sometimes, because she be having to try to put me in my place when it comes to things that are spiritual, when it comes to all kind of things, just things that are going on around us. She's she's something else. I'll just say that. So that's kind of what happened. So her dad came and he was walking. I was switching rooms from a smaller room to a larger room on the other side of the hotel. And I told him to go ahead and go up, and I would come up there in a minute, right? So I don't know. That just kind of, I didn't see where that fed in, but there's also been some things going on here today that have been having me like, damn, did I pick the right place? Did I pick the right time? Some things are going on that have me a little bit emotional and have me in my feelings about a lot of different things. Again, but we'll just keep on going. So Ira says, well, you've been a professor 3 weeks now, Elijah. How do you like it? And Elijah says, and the thing is, in a sense, Elijah and Esther to me are linked, right? I don't know when, how, for how long, how many times, what worlds, times, and things like that, but I know there's a lot, I feel. And it's just, just now coming to see certain things. And again, somebody like me might need a little bit more guidance. Some people might be able to catch on to things quick, but since I have so many things and I pay attention to so many things, it takes me some time to process things. And since I feel like, I don't know if there's even a such thing as someone that pulls in lots of stuff. Like I feels like I pull in a lot of energy. It feels like I pull in a lot from different texts, like being able to find the stuff, but it's almost sometimes overwhelming because there's a lot of stuff, and putting it together where somebody can understand and follow what I'm saying, is pretty hard. So I feel like I'm someone that is a container for information. But if you start talking to me about it, then we can talk all night and you won't be able to get me to be quiet about it. But, so I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying. So anyways, he asked that and says, how do you like it? And then Elijah said, it's been good for me being brought to scratch. And of course, I'm glad to be self-supporting at last. Okay. So again, that's kind of like my journey right now. But it feels like it hurts a little bit, like, oh, that snow is really picking up out there. Anyways, but it hurts a little bit because I feel like something, like a sacrifice or something had to be made that I'm not aware of, that's going to hurt for me to be able to step into a form of light that I just don't know. I've been holding back from it. But when I felt like I may lose this part of me, it kind of, projected me into a place where it's like, you have to act now. There's no more sitting around. You may not know all the answers, but just go. It's like, go. It's almost like, okay, you hesitating to date a certain person that might be good for you, or everything you need, and you may know it in the back of your mind, but everybody else know it too, and they put in, it's like grandma saying, it's okay, go girl, you better go, don't be having that man waiting. So it's, I don't know. And it may be too late, and then I'll have to learn that lesson sometime in life, that procrastination is one of my damn crutches, and you did that. No, it ain't nobody else's fault but yours. Even though it's something that we're going with this is that cannot be explained to everybody, is not going to understand it, but I feel like it's kind of like a confession. These are my confessions. And it's gonna be something for me if I've lost. Now, where am I going with this? We're not supposed to be going this direction. Let's get back to the book. Hold on. Okay. After getting to this point, like something that, okay. Anyway, so, Yeah. So anyway, yes, self-supporting at last. So again, that's where I'm coming to. Like everybody, just going back and forth with information and just saying, look, you have the tools, you have them. I may not know what direction to go into all of the time, but I know I can center myself and kind of automatically gravitate and try to sense and feel things out. So it's just, that's just how it is. Again, yeah, in general. So Ira says, good thing to stand in with your chief as you seem to. Now, this kind of reminds me of even standing in with your king as you're supposed to. And it's almost even like, and these are the parts that I just don't know. It's kind of like, something came in my feed today. Like, it was like a silly, like, commercial thing, saying something like Kanye West or like Kanye tablets or something, where you could take this tablet and you can be him. I don't know, something like that. It was just like a little clip or whatever came in my feed today, and it was kind of funny. So, it's kind of like how, I don't know, I get the gist of this, that she's, Esther at this point, I feel, is coming into her own, and she can kind of navigate a little bit on her own without Elijah being there every single step of the way. She can use other tools and resources to tap into her gifts now, since he's given her the confidence to do so. Okay? So Elijah said, so again, at some point in time, when we're talking to Elijah, could we be talking to Esther? He's going to ask her, look, are you hypnotizing me now? So, it's kind of like, and I won't even say like a twin flame, because I feel like that has something to do with, your higher and a lower meeting and causing a spark or something, maybe even a flame. I don't know. But maybe like a soul something sibling, or a soul tie in a sense. I don't know. Like lifetimes over and over. So says, okay, so Elijah says, I suppose so. But if we were not thinking of that, let's give ourselves a chance to treat him as human. Okay? Now, who? Oh, okay, the chief then. Okay, to treat him as human. So just to treat him as like possibly normal. I don't know, but that's just what it say. Or unless he's not. Again, there was a story about like a Japanese cartoon kind of Santuro. I don't know if that's what it's called. I just remember seeing something on one of my daughter's things. Santuro, I don't know, y'all, but something to do with a story about a tree. Okay, a girl and a boy, or a girl and someone that came from a distant place. I was falling asleep when we were watching it, but I was kind of like intrigued. And it's like a love story where she decides to join with him and they become trees together or something like this. It was a beautiful story. Reminded me of also this instance and these things that are going on here. Because again, there's a lot of storylines that are starting to show themselves to me that in all actuality, some of these big time things that we talk about, Star Wars, all these things like this, storylines are in there about what is going on actually in these times. In past times as well, but again, a lot of things are going on with like everyday people, and you don't even realize you like a real character in some type of storyline or plot right now in these days. So, I don't know. So just always remember that whatever we think that they're dealing with, they're being the whoever has control or whatever over this plane, and ancient technologies and things, would be doing. A creator, a source, something. So, Anyways, Ira says, I've already seen his humanity. Okay. And Elijah says, yes, after all, he is not just bursting with it. Okay. And Ira says, no. How about his daughter? Is she human? Elijah says, I really don't know her. Ira says, your mother didn't seem to think she was. Did you have an interesting time walking out? Elijah says, indifferentially, oh yes. Miss Robbins returned with Shantland. Ira says, ready for our climb, Professor. So I guess Ira is now about to get a turn to ascend or go up, climb up this hill or whatnot. And Shantland says, ready. They start off up the hill. Ira says, well, we'll be back in time for dinner. Shantland says, I think even sooner. They go up the hill talking. Miss Robbins says, well, how did you get along with Esther? Elijah says, all right. Miss Robbins says, she is not a popular girl, but it's well for you to be nice to her. Her father can do a great deal for you. And then Elijah says, mother. Miss Robbins says, well, what? Elijah says, what a way to be thinking of friends. And again, this is reminding me of something, and again, I'm just saying these things that I feel have gravitated towards me for the past couple of weeks in order to help me tell this story a little bit better, being the wallflower that I am. So, a lot of things have been coming in and out. When I'm saying in my feed, it can be from random people. It can be from people that I think may know something about this. It's just things that have come into my mind's eye, however way, in order to get me to relate this story to what I'm thinking that it has something to do with. Okay. So when I say message or I got a message or I got something, I got it from somewhere and, that's what it was. So, so anyways, the whole thing about real friends don't leave, or when things get bad, that kind of thing has been kind of like on my mind lately. So again, Miss Robbins says, if you don't look out for yourself in this world, nobody else will. Again, a lot of that has been in my feed. We'll call it feed. Okay. So a lot of that has been in my feed, right? Lately, just words of encouragement, other people just being cutthroat, like, but I know that when I'm looking at these things, I know certain messages are for me, some are not, some are to deter me. So again, I'm like blocking all kind of different, it's kind of like I have a shield or something, and I'm trying to use it to block all these other things from coming in and trying to confuse me or lead. It's like, like I'm a cat or something. And all of this information is catnip. So it's just like all driving me crazy, along with the feelings that are in real life happening behind the scenes, stuff like that in real life, affecting things on this plane and on this level. So again, Miss Robbins says, if you don't look out for yourself, nobody else will. Elijah says, I think I'll count on God for that. Or instinct. He pulls himself up. He smiles. Okay. Miss Robbins says, what's amusing now? Elijah says, myself. Too noble to gain by calculation, but ready to do it by instinct. See, like, even when I'm reading this to y'all, like, things are like, yeah. Like, so now I'm saying I've been doing this thing and this dance and, getting acquainted with this energy that's been around me. And now it seems as though the energy, in the smart ass way, is trying to tell me that I've gotten to a certain level or opened up a necessary door, to where this whole thing about being two in one. I don't know, y'all. Okay, y'all can help me out. Anybody that deal with this kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just a girl that is like, well, not really just a girl. She's coming into something else, but that is just, trying to find my way. I'm trying. I'm trying to just get in a place where I can just be, I guess, and learn how to really listen and really see things on another level, I guess, really. I mean, to learn how, if there is something I need to know about myself that can be a force to be reckoned with, then I would need to be able to figure out how to drive it or navigate it, which is, again, when I'm smiling like this, because I'm saying something that I've seen today, walk past, even just here on my wall in this hotel room. I'm somebody, when I come into a place, I take in everything. So I'm reading little shit on the light, you know what I'm saying? I'm reading little things. I'm just reading into many things. And so, and they're all left. They're all left there as clues. And as long as you know, yeah. So anyway, when I'm saying something like that and I get distracted, that's because it just hit me like, okay, now we see what we're talking about. All right. So anyways, and I can't like share every single thing with you guys, and it wouldn't make sense to, and you wouldn't probably get it anyway. So again, so yeah. Okay. So that's kind of like even just what happened right now, the whole, anyways, we'll keep going. Okay. So Miss Robin says, you get too involved for me. How did your new psychic turn out? Elijah says, like the others. 5 of us sat there in the dark around a table. The replies of the spirits came from overhead. After 15 minutes of it, I struck a match. It revealed the lady with a megaphone pointed at the ceiling. So when I'm recording the videos at home, I have it on like this stand thing. See, I had to skip some stuff to get y'all here, but I felt a sense of urgency and that I needed to, get to the point of some of these things here to tell the story instead of like lollygagging and all the smaller details. So anyways, okay, that's just reminded me of something there, because that's kind of what it looks like when the phone is there, right? Again, this could be pertaining to something else, but again, it resonates with me really heavy when I'm reading it. So Miss Robbins laughs. Esther comes out. She stops on the porch at a loss. Miss Robbins going to her, is there something you want, Esther? Esther says, no, nothing. Miss Robbins, something in your room. She says something in your room. And Esther, now look, okay, I'm tripping a little bit because I'm in this room right now by myself. And I don't know what or why I ended up at this particular place when I was supposed to be somewhere totally different. But ever since I've been here, I kind of feel at home, and I feel like this very day, at this time, no matter what is going to occur on that spiritual or whatever aspect, I was supposed to be here today. Several markers have already popped up in different situations that have occurred since I've been here already. Let me know that this is a part of the plan. regardless if it's going to go in the direction I want it to or not. So, so again, yeah, something in your room, okay? And Esther says, the room is lovely. Look at this. Okay, y'all, I'm about to cry. Okay. Not really, but I'm just feeling some kind of way. Y'all know I was sitting here with my daughter today, and she came in this room. Okay, last night we were in a different room. She stayed with me, and I don't know. I was getting like a kind of weird sense of something, and I've been like really paying attention to, mirrors, things like this. Looking in mirrors, not looking at myself as to, you know, oh girl, you look good, you about to go out, but just looking. I find myself a lot. And and it reminds me of a couple of weeks ago when I was all into this book. My daughter said, and I told you she the one act like she my mama. And she said, Mama, she woke up in the morning with sleep still in her eyes, walking downstairs, eyes still closed. She came up to me, she said, Mama, you got a two-way mirror in your something. I'm thinking like, what? What the fuck is she? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about? So she wakes up out of her sleep and she has these things that she wants to say to me. And so anyway, she was here with me when I switched rooms earlier. And so, yeah, just saying, she said, yeah, she said, you have to put your finger on the mirror. And if you put your finger on there and you can see the tip of your finger touching the other tip on the other side, that means it's a two-way mirror and it's thinner and something. I'm like, what? Oh, okay. So, we silly. We walking around putting our finger on the mirrors. And yeah, so I don't know. It's just strange. Just a lot of everything is coming back to me as to what even happened today. So anyways, and she said she also said something like, there's probably something in here. And we're walking through and the place is gorgeous. It just popped up out of nowhere. I have been living in the area for a long time and I never knew the place even existed. And I still don't know when they actually open, but like the place is gorgeous. It's like the decor is like on point. So we were playing around sitting in the chairs and she's like, oh, it's like a king. No, she said it's like we're a queen, we're royalty or something. And this is the chairs and stuff of our ancestors or something. That girl is something else. And this story is something else. And something else is going on right now. So, Esther says, the room is lovely. It makes me feel like a girl in a storybook. I shall sleep well there in the lovely quietness, shut in by the woodbine. This is like not using the same exact words, but it's just like what was going on with me and my daughter even came to look at the room. Like, oh, yeah, the whole thing about feeling like a girl in a storybook. And this whole time I was referring to that. Well, I was making reference to that to my house and how I go in my room every day and do some kind of reading, meditation, just sitting in my thoughts or whatever. I'm just being quiet because I feel like I'm yelling. So, but to come here, I'd said before they left, because they came to look at the room, I said, ooh, if I could just stay here for like a month or something, I'd be so good. Because I really did like, and they were saying, oh, you should have just got this one in the first place and so on and so forth, whatever. Anyways, so yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. And it feels good. So Miss Robbins says, I must see about dinner. Make Elijah entertain you. And she goes in. So I'm okay. Let me tell you one thing. I'm so hungry and I haven't eaten anything all day. I don't know why 6 o'clock is like standing out to me. Maybe I don't know. Um, but I really haven't eaten anything, and I don't know. I'm kind of nervous to go down and see what they have to eat, but I'm gonna go. But I don't know, y'all. Mm, I don't know. So yeah, Miss Robbins says, and again, the whole thing about Miss Robbins, the whole thing about the mother, but then, excuse me, seems like she's a mediator between Elijah sometimes and Esther, but other times it seems as though she's not. But I don't know. This part about making Elijah entertain you, and she goes in. Hmm. So, anyway, Esther going down from the porch. Please do not think you have to entertain me. And Elijah says, I promise not to. He lights a cigarette. You are free here. Roam where you will. Esther seeing the spring, again, in a sense, the spring reminds me of the actual person, the being. Um, the spring reminds me of the action as to like even springing into action or the process of the thinking or whatever's going on. Also reminds me of something that would be like a symbolic for like you see when it comes to like energy or different when it comes to the chakras and you see like this you know even like when it comes to the Baphomet and you see that torch like I don't know yeah, it just reminds me of some type of like I'll just say again okay, so yeah, the spring can be the act itself, okay, is what I want to say, or a symbolic representation of what's going on. Also, I feel like something that is a spring is forever giving. Um, could we be talking about mirrors? Something that's constantly producing a image or I don't know, the television, phones, um, hell, your eyes. I came across a image the other day with different lakes and how they look and how a lot of lakes, you know, have uh, look like somebody put like it compared to what the human eye looks like or what an eye looks like. And it was, yeah, kind of telling. So, anyways, um, Elijah says, I promise not to, and he lights a cigarette. You are free here, roam where you will. Okay. So Esther's seeing the spring. Oh, she looks about, taking in the place, and then back to the spring. How lovely. She comes to the spring, kneels by it in the position of, okay, Namke, and gazes into it. That spiral of sand dances on the bottom like an Arabian jinn. Um, oh, I wrote some notes here about something that I saw on American God that kind of represented this. Um, and then Elijah says, while he's glancing at the spring, the jinn were great, terrible creatures. This gentleman is tiny, more like an elf, I say. Oh, hold on. Okay. Okay, this happened. I'm about to come right back. I hope you guys are enjoying this. The thing that I like most about what's going on here is something that is very hard to open up and talk about. It's something very hard to introduce. I think this is like a lot of us are going through these type of things right now because we're introducing a new way of seeing and thinking and knowing and existing in a sense. And the great thing about this is that several things that have happened to me over time, because again, people start looking at you different. Like it's something wrong with you. Even the term bipolar. I'm thinking, what the hell is bipolar? Do we really know? And then I was reading something else in one of these books that was talking about polarized. And it's just like, we're dealing with the cold and, I don't always know. But maybe I just be throwing this out because y'all know. And maybe then, whatever. But I like that people that even if they think that I'm taking things too far sometimes can contest to most things that I'm pointing out to you guys and speaking on that have happened in this book, and then also other things that have happened prior to this that I at least have people that can vouch for that have been with me that may have seen some of these things. So again, I just read something that just kind of took my breath away, and plus I'm starving to death. So I'm gonna stop here, and I will hopefully be back. All right, I'll see you guys soon.